Hi and welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Lucy, the president of the Young Artist Music Society, and our team is so excited to be sharing our past music theory material with you all. Right now, we are watching the Intermediate Lesson 1, which covers these topics. For future lessons, we will simply put a description of the lesson material covered at the beginning of each video for your convenience. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in our comment section, and without further ado, we hope you enjoy our Lesson 1. Okay, so hi everyone, and welcome to our first lesson of the Intermediate Music Theory class held by YAMS.
The end goal of YAMS Intermediate Music Theory test is to prepare students for the Levels 3 and 4 music theory exams. By the end of this course, along with our homework assignments and review sessions, students will be thoroughly prepared for the Level 3 and 4 music theory test. That being said, don't be afraid to ask questions or let us know if we're going too fast or too slow. We are dedicated to helping you learn the fundamentals of music theory, and we are here to help you succeed.
So I think this is good to go over. So first of all, it's important for independent learning, like when you're learning a piece on your instrument, knowing the music theory behind it will help you learn it quicker. And that goes along with music structure, because understanding the music structure will help you memorize and understand your piece better. Music theory is also very important for sight reading, which is just basically playing a piece based when you see it for the first time. I know that that's a skill that you need for some tests if you take them in your state. So I think knowing music theory can also help you pass those tests, since you'll know what the symbols on the paper mean and stuff like that. It's important for improvisation, which is creating your own music, like on the spot, and composition, which is creating your own music, but like planning ahead, basically. Creating music, that ties in with music theory a lot. So if you want to study composition or improvisation, music theory is very important. And lastly, music theory is important simply to enjoying music. If you understand what you're listening to or playing, that will help you enjoy it much more. So yeah, those are just a few reasons why music theory is very important to learn.
Okay, so today on our agenda, we're first going to be going over major key signatures and triads, and then we're going to go over some accidentals, then intervals, time signatures, and we'll end with the weekly vocabulary and homework.
Okay, so I'll do the first topic. And today is more of like a review of the beginner music theory class. So if you find any of this not challenging, that's completely normal. So we're going to review major key signatures and triads first. So as a quick review, we'll be going over the key signatures and triads of the major scales C, F, and G. And then our next lesson on next Wednesday, we're going to focus on learning and memorizing the key signatures of all major scales. So these are 3 key signatures below. Can you guys, okay, this is a review, so I'll just call on you guys to answer the questions. Camellia, I think. Can you tell me which major key this key signature belongs to?
It belongs to F.
Awesome. Okay, so next, hold on, I can't see the names for some reason. Okay, so Alvin, second one, which key does this belong to?
G.
Good. And then
G major to be exact.
Yes, very good. And then the last one, Dylan?
C.
Very good. Okay, yeah, so those are really all the only 3 major scales you learn in level 1 and 2, at least in my books. So it's glad to know that you guys are all very confident with these. Okay, next, you're gonna need some paper. So if you don't have any with you, grab it right now. Doesn't need to be line paper since we're not gonna draw that many lines, but this is going to be a triad practice. So once you have your paper, you're gonna draw the treble clef and the 5 lines and stuff. So follow the example of this F major triad to draw the C and G major triads. So as you can see here, they just wrote the triad down, listed all the notes, and then said which major key it belongs to. And then when you're finished, just press the green check mark under participants. And if you can't find that, then just type done in the chat. And then we'll move on when everyone's done. Okay. Okay, so all of you guys did super well on this. So yeah, let's go on to the next topic.
Okay, so this topic is on accidentals. An accidental is a symbol which indicates the player to raise or lower the written note by a specific interval. So which of the following symbols are accidentals? You can type the numbers in the chat. The numbers are labeled under each symbol. Okay, I think that you all have written in your responses, and they're all really good. Okay, so let me see, can you go on? Okay, so the answers are actually 1, 3, 5, and 6. So I know that most of you guys got 1, 3, and 5 because it's a sharp, a flat, and a natural. Number 6, I don't think that you see it usually in your music until it's like a higher level or more difficult. So that is actually called a double sharp, which we'll be going on in the next slide. Okay, so these are the two that you probably won't really see, but they're really useful in music. So the first one, it's a double sharp. It looks like an X. And then the second one is a double flat, and it's just two double flats next to each other. Okay, so first the double sharp is used to raise the note by a whole step instead of having to like write two sharps or do something crazy to the music. You just have to put an X next to it. And then the double flat is to lower the note by a whole step.
Okay, yeah, so we'll have more of those accidental activities in your homework for this week. So let's go on to intervals. In our intermediate music theory course, we will learn how to identify musical intervals by number and quality, which is major, minor, diminished, and augmented. And it's totally fine if you don't know what those mean yet. We'll learn that, I think, in our 4th lesson. So for now, let's identify the following intervals by number only. And if you don't know how to do that, it's just counting all the lines and spaces from one note to another note. So you guys can just type the order of the numbers in the chat like you did last time. And we'll give you a few minutes. So this is a 3rd, a 5th, a 7th, and a 4th. And just to recap, if you don't know how to count, the interval, basically you start at the first note. For example, this one's on a line, and then you count all the spaces and lines between this note and the top note. So for example, this would have one line, one space, one line, one space, one line. So that was 5 total lines and spaces. So this would be a 5. So yeah, I think all of you guys are very good with identifying intervals by number. Okay, so let's do another practice with some melodic intervals. This time, I think I'll just call on people since you guys are obviously very good at this. So for the first one, I'll call on Dylan. Dylan, what is the number interval of these two notes?
An eighth.
Very good. It's an eighth. Okay, awesome. So second one, Alvin.
A sixth.
Very good. F sharp and D, that is a 6th. And then the last one, Iris.
1.
Yes, very good. It is 1. In case you're wondering why it's not 0, it's because when we're counting the interval, we still count the first line or space. So if you apply the same logic to this one, it's 1 and not 0. Very good. Okay, so let's go on to time signatures.
So now we're going over time signature review. Time signatures are a very important concept to understand because it tells you how to count each measure of your music. So let's review what each number in a time signature tells us. So the top note, the 3 in this case, is the number of counts in each measure. And then the bottom number in 4 in this case is a type of note that receives 1 count. Okay, so there are 2 different types of time signatures. I'm going to give you guys like 10 seconds to look over them. So what does, for the first one, 2, 4, can anybody tell me what each number means? I can go call on someone. Dylan?
2 quarter notes in a measure, and a quarter note is a beat.
Yeah, that's right. So each measure has 2 counts, and the 4 means a quarter note gets 1 count. Okay, so for the next one, 6, 8. Alvin, you have your hand up.
So 6 does not necessarily mean 6 quarter notes. It means 6 beats, and the 8 means 1/8 note is worth 1 beat.
Yeah, it's a really great explanation. So each measure has 6 counts, and an 8th note gets 1 count. Okay, so just to clear things up, one quarter note doesn't always get 1 beat. It really depends on the bottom number. So if the bottom number is like a 4, then it's a quarter note. But if the bottom number is like a 2 or 8, it's not a quarter note.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of 30 minutes. So this is our vocabulary of the week. Each week we'll give you a vocabulary list of the main topics we covered today. So I think on this side, on the left side, these are the things that you're more familiar with, the things that everybody in this class probably already knew. And on the right side, this is either stuff that we didn't directly go over, but it was included in the slideshow, and maybe some new concepts that not everybody knew about. So all these terms, if you guys want to do further research, you can search it up and find out what they mean. And we'll also go over this in our review session, and it's going to be all over the homework. So these are just terms that you guys should keep an eye out for.